This lorry has flipped over, but there's no clear reason as to how it flipped onto its side. There's no debris around or a car it smashed into, so that's odd. I don't really understand why there's so many cars all together in one area in the middle of a field near a road. It's like the end of the world happened, everyone jumped into their cars and then decided to chill and then just disappeared. Zombie child is able to walk around in slippers without them falling off. Zombie child also picks up a toy, which never happens later on in the slightest.
Little girl? I'm a policeman. Little girl.
Little girl doesn't immediately react to sound like they do literally every time later on.
What's the difference between men and women?
That's a joke.
No, serious.
Never met a woman who knew how to turn off a light.
This seems oddly sexist and must be largely untrue. En route to the call, Shane puts on his special shooting hat, but upon arriving at the scene and setting up, he immediately removes it, thus making putting it on in the first place largely redundant. Stormtrooper aiming.
Shane, you do not tell Lori that happened. Ever.
All of these trained police officers are facing in the direction of the car, and yet failed to see the guy clearly getting out of it, and also failed to stop him from shooting Rick.
You hear me? Shh, okay. I'm right here, Rick. You stay with me. You hear me? Shh, that's it. You hear me? Shh, okay.
Consistent shushing, even though Rick isn't talking, or even appears to be trying to talk.
Everybody pitched in on these. They want me to bring them down. They send their love, and they hope you come back real soon.
Then they are cheap bastards. How much could a bunch of flowers end up costing when you split it between like 10 or more people? Like fucking 9 cents or something?
I'm just gonna set these on your side table, okay?
By the way, I'm also fucking your wife. See ya! The clock on the wall shows the time as being roughly 18 minutes past 2 and has stopped. Now this would be fairly usual as we don't know how long he's been out of it and so the battery could have gone flat. However, the clock in this room has also stopped at the exact same time. Ah well, look on the bright side. At least he got out of paying for his medical bill. I'd have at least liked one quick scene of him trying to get into the vehicles back at the hospital before walking down the street. I mean, if the military did leave in some kind of an emergency, then you'd assume there's a good chance that a key or two might have been dropped. Sleeping zombie.
Lori.
Shane complains about having never met a woman who can turn off a light switch, and here's Rick living with a woman who leaves her fucking house unlocked and open. Even Rick doesn't shut the door. No swelling or bruising of any kind after having been hit in the face with a fucking shovel.
What else? Anything?
Gunshot ain't enough.
Look, I ask, and you answer.
He did.
We're okay.
No.
Extremely noisy car alarm doesn't trigger all of the zombies to walk towards the sound.
Yeah. Crying to the pillow. You remember? Shh.
Father has enough of crying son and tries to suffocate him.
We're sure they're dead. They have to ask at least one more time.
They did.
Told his son off for not speaking absolutely correct English and then himself says they dead instead of they are dead. Even after the zombie apocalypse, the police still have donuts.
Oh my lord! That feels good, right?
Knows that noise draws walkers and then has a shower and makes as much sound as possible.
Leon Bassett?
No.
Police officer out here. Can I borrow some gas?
Do you plan on returning it? Zombies that can run. Zombies that can climb.
You too. Don't wander too far. Stay within shouting distance. And if you see anything, holler. I'll come running.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, so irritating talking about saving my life and protecting me. That is definitely not within shouting distance. Leaving camp without literally any kind of weapon, other than the red bucket, of course. Creepy Shane. 1 minute and 20 seconds of awkward and weird making out and sex.
Where are you? Outside?
No, Rick, he's inside the tank. The worst possible way to get someone's attention.
He's up. You're kidding me, right? We're dead because of this stupid asshole.
Andrea.
These guys take off the smartest pieces of clothing anyone has worn since this episode in the entire series, and seemingly for no reason whatsoever other than because plot.
You know what the kid is surviving? Sneaking in and out, tiptoeing, not shooting up the streets like it's the OK Corral.
Every geek for miles around heard you popping off rounds.
Which is something Glenn actually told him to do. Zombies using weapons.
Doing it there anyway.
Trying to flag the helicopter.
Helicopter? Man, that's crap, man. No damn helicopter.
You were chasing
They never heard a very loud helicopter flying over.
a hallucination, imagining things. It happens.
I saw it.
Assuming he hallucinated having seen a fucking helicopter and seemingly for no reason.
Wasting bullets we ain't even got, man. And you bring a morgue down here on our ass, man. Just chill.
Hey, bad enough I got this taco bender on my ass all day. Now I'm gonna take orders from you?
Incredibly racist white guy managed to actually find a multi-ethnic group to take his ass in.
That right, sugar tits. Hey, honey buns, what say you get me out of these cuffs? We go off somewhere and bump some uglies.
Actual footage from 2016's Black Friday sales.
Don't mean we can't work together, parlay, as long as there's some kind of mutual gain involved.
And what exactly would be his end of the bargain and his mutual gain?
There's a cop staring at me. Would it be considered looting?
No.
I'm sorry.
Their clothing goes from being absolutely covered in guts to being barely smeared at all. Loudly slams the door behind them unnecessarily.
It's gonna work. Can't believe it. Don't draw attention.
What, like by talking, for example? Has to look at his hand to understand the fact that it's raining. Screams to run rather than just saying it normally, since Glenn is literally 2 feet away, and thus by doing so draws the attention of the whole lot of them. Zombie marathon. Zombies climbing fucking fences.
That's you! You did that on purpose! I didn't mean to! I did it on purpose! I'm not saying it!
Saying he did it on purpose when he quite clearly tripped in front of him, having come back to help. Drawing a massive horde of zombies like this is clever. However, doing it with your windows rolled down is not clever. No one says thank you.
I dropped the damn key.
T-Dog's face is now completely healed within the last couple of hours after having been punched in the face several times by an angry Merle.
Nobody's gonna be sad he didn't come back. Except maybe Daryl.
Daryl?
Saying except maybe Daryl when Rick doesn't know who that is, instead of just saying except maybe his brother. Knowing that sound draws walkers and then driving the car all the way back to the camp.
Turn that damn thing off!
I don't know how.
Pop the hood, please. Would you pop the damn hood, please? Pop the damn hood!
He acts like a moron here.
Yeah, she's okay. She's
Is she
okay.
coming back?
Yes.
Why isn't she with you? Where is she? She's okay?
Yes. Yeah. Fine. Everybody is.
He answers in such a retarded way instead of simply saying, they're all in the truck, they're all okay, and they're all going to be here in a minute.
Hey, helicopter boy. Come say hello.
Being given the nickname Helicopter Boy because he said he saw a helicopter in the city. Now Shane's thinking, shit, I can't bang his wife anymore. Does that bitch literally go to stop her son from running to his father?
I barely got them out. You know, I can't tell you how grateful I am to you, Shane. Can't begin to express it.
That's alright. He's been collecting on that debt in the form of regular pussy.
My point. Dixon's alive, and he's still up there, handcuffed on that roof. That's on us.
He just got through talking about how it was all his fault and how he'd take responsibility, and then ends it by saying that because he's still on the roof, it's on all of them. It's very contradictory and it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I knew I would.
You're getting cocky now. A little bit.
What a fucking dumbass reply.
He won't wake up.
Having sex whilst your kid is literally 5 feet away is messed up. Local hungry businessman is beaten up for his lunch. Despite knowing that to kill one you have to cut its head off or cause severe brain injury, you've got some of these guys hitting its legs and seemingly stabbing it in the butt with a pitchfork.
What do you know about it, old man? You take that stupid hat and go back to on Golden Pond.
Oh, I forgot he used to be a cunt.
Hey,
Squirrel attack.
just tell me where he is, so I can go get him.
He'll show you. Isn't that right?
Not only is this her changing her mind incredibly quickly, but also doing so without discussing it with Rick first, as he may have had a change of heart now that he met Daryl. But it also feels more like, hey Rick, fuck off so I can keep shagging Shane.
I'm going back.
She brought it up and now she's looking like she's pissed off.
Yes.
I'm not sitting here with anybody. Not you, Shane, Lori, least of all.
You tell her that.
He doesn't need to, as it was literally her idea that she mentioned probably 5 minutes ago.
You went through hell to find us. You just got here and you're gonna turn around and leave?
It was your fucking idea!
To hell with the guns. Shane is right. Merle Dixon? He's not worth one of your lives, even with guns thrown in.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that she was just being stupidly full of attitude earlier when she said Rick would show him the way. Which is so retarded given that she did it in front of everyone and only after he said he was asking and not telling her, and she gave her opinion which was to not go, which he didn't argue with, and so assumingly was thus settled. Adding 5 cents for how stupid this is.
I tell you what, we get back, you can strip that van down to the bare metal.
Come on, let's...
Doing this when you know that walkers are drawn to sound. Even if you're being impatient, it's still common sense. The fact that after only just reuniting, Rick and his wife don't even say goodbye to each other.
I tell you what! Come here! Get off me!
This is literally the best thing that Shane ever does in the entire series, and I loved him for it. Kicking the shit out of this absolute piece of human garbage was nothing short of brilliant. For this, I'll remove a sin. Annoyingly, these women then ruin it by treating him like he's some kind of monster, despite the fact that he viciously attacked his wife, and not for the first time, and he was a lazy piece of crap who definitely would have ended up hurting one of the other women at some point. I'd have given him a high five. That is nowhere near enough blood, considering he cut through arteries and veins and bones, and there's just a tiny bit of blood on the top of the saw, not even on the blade really, and some on the cuff itself.
What? Nothing.
Something. 3 minutes of talking about fishing. Magically, blood has now appeared around the hand and saw. Daryl decides that no meat should ever be wasted, as was taught to him as a child, and neatly packs away his lunch. I don't think it really requires most of the camp to make their way out there to speak to one guy who happens to be fraggling.
Jim, they're not going to say it, so I will. You're scaring people. You're scaring my son and Carol's daughter.
I got nothing to be scared of.
So if they are so scared, then why bring them all the way out there to watch them talk to him?
And if I don't, then what? Then you're gonna beat my face in like Ed Peltier, aren't you? Y'all seen his face, huh? What's left of it?
Yeah, the poor guy was only beating the shit out of his wife. It's not exactly a reason to hurt the guy, was it? Fucking retard.
You weren't there. Ed was out of control. He was hurting his wife.
That is their marriage, that is not his.
This is just stupid logic, and no one bothers to point this out to him. It's like saying it's just the homeowner's problem when someone decides to break in and attack them.
You keep your boy close. You don't never let him out of your sight.
Why bother going over and crouching in front of him to just not say a word and then get up and walk away? Rick lives by the motto, what happens in Atlanta stays in Atlanta.
What the hell is this?
Asthma attack. Couldn't get his breath all of a sudden.
Yeah, something tells me he's not fucking referencing to that, Glenn. The best defense is absolutely no fucking defense whatsoever. This is getting synced because human reactions are not to just get touched and slowly ponder the situation, but instead to recoil quickly and freak out a little. This girl's reaction is no reaction, and that is sinful. It takes 7 fucking seconds for them to actually begin to react to the situation. I know some people will say, perhaps it's shock, but it's more down to natural human reactions instead. Stupidly gets bitten and then decides to walk just 3 feet away and fall to her knees to then get bitten again. One more time I'll state that normal human reactions would be that you are injured and in pain, so you bloody run away from the situation. Removing a sin here for this piece of outstanding acting, which really hits the nail on the head for exactly how I think most people would be when they've just lost a loved one suddenly in front of them.
Clean in the brain from here. Hell, I can hit a turkey between the eyes from this distance.
No. God's sakes, let her be.
This is a dumb statement, considering she's had all night long to deal with her situation and her sister's death, and as a result, she's now putting everyone else at risk.
Amy,
No.
we want to be with our people.
Well, that's kind of racist. Man gives birth en route to the CDC.
Jenner here. It's day 194 since wildfire was declared.
Why is a top-level government camera inside a top-notch government facility such a shitty quality?
I want everybody back to the cars. Let's go move.
The camera, it moved.
You imagined it.
Why would you assume that he imagined it? This is like the helicopter in the city situation from before.
Hello? Anybody infected?
One of our group was. He didn't make it.
Then it really doesn't need to be mentioned, does it? That answering a twitchy trigger finger could have ended up getting you killed.
Are we underground?
Well, you were on ground level, and then you just took an elevator down, so logic would dictate yes.
Me, we haven't thanked our host properly. He is more than just our host.
Puts his hand out to appear modest, but then decides to hell with that and puts his hand down in the next frame.
They opted out. There was a rash of suicides.
I know it fits the narrative of the story, however I don't think it's likely that within mere weeks of the military up and leaving that the scientists would straight up give up on finding a cure, aka doing their job to cure the worst disease in history, and then give up on living altogether, considering they had food, water, electricity, hot showers, beds, and stations to continue working at.
There's a rec room down the hall that you kids might enjoy. Just don't plug in the video games, okay? Or anything that draws power.
But he really needed to have the big lights on in the main room as well as the computers, even though he wasn't going to use any of it, and thus sucked even more power from the generators. But yeah, don't turn on the PS3. Go easy on the hot water, he said, but then a lot of them just stand in it, enjoying it, instead of, I don't know, fucking shampooing or something. Stressed out cop gets drunk cliché. Yep, really making good use of that limited hot water supply, aren't you?
How's the blood?
No surprises.
Whilst the kids are bored in the rec room, this guy's got every single fucking light imaginable on. The corridor behind them looks like the sun is at the other end.
You alright?
You don't know what it's like.
Getting drunk whilst you're not only responsible for your family, but also for the group. I know he's safe for the first time in ages, but in their situation, you never know when something bad might happen.
There may be some people like me.
There's nothing left anywhere. Nothing. That's what you're really saying, right?
No, he's saying he doesn't know.
The air conditioning stopped.
Why the hell would you leave the air conditioning system on when you are already underground as it is? Seems like these guys didn't have a clue about making all of the generators last, and you can't tell me that no one could program the computer system to turn that pointless stuff off around the start of it all happening.
We all got it.
Not only is this a waste of bullets, but in his anger he might go and destroy the one computer that could actually let them out. Hitting two separate panes of glass instead of concentrating on weakening the same one. What the fuck is he doing? Everyone knows they've got 5 seconds to let go and run. Nathan Burr, Bird Without a Word, Arias Alibari, Aidan White, PK Fan, Ali 50, Ryan Anderson, Isael Caldera, Chris Harris, Jonas Stahl, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Luis Hernandez, Kim Munt, Jason Davies, Yuki Ali, Manuel Morales, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Sentimento, Juffa6263, Amy San, Alfredo Jimenez, Silva, Master Tank, Boogie, Kevin Nelter, Stefio, Brendan Krier, Storm 970, Mr. Waffle 64, Vongola Ninja, Kaj Vorzelman, Jordan Samuels, Sean Graves, The Epic Amanda, Crimson Shadows, Kyle Farmer, Buzzbomb 3000, Adora Blue, Yagai 7636, Mr. Berigino,